Hi, I'm MT Deco, and welcome to my first vlog ever. Today, I'm going to be talking about Gooseberry Falls State Park. Gooseberry Park is in Minnesota on the shores of Lake Superior, and it's best known for the waterfall the park is named from. The water from the falls travels a short mile or so and empties into the Great Lake. It is well known as being one of the premier parks in the state, and I really enjoyed my visit. It was the first time I had gone up to experience it, and the park did not fall short of expectation. It was wonderful. Lake Superior and the North Shore in general is such a special place, so what a wonderful backdrop for the falls. But of course, Lake Superior can hardly be thought of as a backdrop in any capacity. The lake can be brutal, majestic, deadly, or even calm and serene. I guess in some ways it's just unpredictable what face the lake will show you. So, what a wonderful setting for a park, and I really enjoyed my time there. I am excited to try to put together some footage for you and let you check it out. So without further ado, I guess we'll get started. Before we do, let me just give you some context on where the park is and whatnot. So I'll put, should have a picture up here just showing the very simple route from the Twin Cities up through Duluth and into the park on the North Shore. So hope you enjoy. Thanks. What a beautiful day to start the trip. And here we are pulling into Cortez. What trip doesn't start with a pit stop to pick up a few last minute things? Anyways, in and out, and let's get going. So I am set.
Good, you're heading off.
Yeah, and I got my dash cam, Maria. I bought the cheapest one I could find on Amazon, so I think it was like $40, and it appears to actually be working. So we'll find out. Yeah, so I can next time we all get together, I can play my 3-hour commute up to the campsite for everyone's enjoyment.
Oh, that sounds fun. Wow.
I know, it'll be great. We could review every turn and twist of the highway.
That's what I'm looking forward to. That'll be it.
Yep, my goal is to make the most boringest videos ever. So that's my goal. Here I'm pulling into a rest stop along the way. Just wanted to give a sense for a couple of the stops. And I thought this one was cool in that it had this really nice walking trail to stretch your legs and just get a break from the road and enjoy some of the scenery as you move out of the city and into the rural landscape. It's certainly refreshing. Here I'm pulling out of my boondocking spot at Black Bear Casino, where I spent the night boondocking in the parking lot. The weather really shifted. On the ride up it was bright and sunny, but over the evening and into the night the weather changed and a pretty intense rain shower happened. The sound of it hitting the van roof was like a cacophony of metallic pings. It woke me up, but I was snug in the van, so no worries. You'll also see in this clip that the wind is really picked up after the storm. You'll see more of the wind, especially as I make my way up to the shores of Superior. I've just pulled into a rest area on the outskirts of Duluth. This isn't any ordinary rest area. This one should sell tickets for you to get into, since the view from the other side of the washroom building looks down and out over a bluff and gives a dramatic, cinematic vista of the Great Lake and Harbor area. Let's take a walk around and I'll show you. Really hear that wind blowing over the camera microphone here. The wind is just whipping in over the lake. The whole van was getting shoved around in the parking lot and also out on the road. In fact, I was a bit worried, since driving a tall vehicle like the high-top Transit, you can really feel the effect of the wind much more. I apologize for the camera work here. The wind was absolutely cutting through my jacket, and that, combined with my newbie amateur photography skill, makes for some jerky shots. The overcast sky and the mist, the wind was kicking up out of the lake. It really combined to reduce the visibility of the overlook, but I'll bet on a clear day you could see for miles. I like the fierceness of the scene. It reminds me that you're next to one of the Great Lakes. These bad boys are so big that they influence the weather. Some of the information at the rest area talked about Superior cooling the area in the summer by an average of 10 degrees and warming it in the winter. You only need to listen to that song by the Canadian singer-songwriter Gordon Lightfoot, the wreck of Edmund Fitzgerald, to know just how mortal you are in relation to the lake. Time to get moving and back on the road to Gooseberry. And we made it. Here we're turning into the park. Going to check in at the ranger station at this point. The ranger ended up being super nice and helpful, and I was on my way in no time. Finally at the campsite. It looks great. Let's take a quick look around. As you can see, the site is nicely divided off with a screen of trees and shrubs from the adjacent sites. Has a nice picnic table and fire pit. Tent space looks really good, level and without roots. Nice job. This is one great campsite. Really excited to get out there and start exploring the park.
Hi. Yeah, it's a little.
Without really planning on it, I somehow managed to make all the right choices to walk from the campsite to the lake. I guess I was just drawn to the shore somehow. Here you can see, as I walk up to it, an event space built in a sturdy cabin style. You can really imagine all of the fun get-togethers that must happen here. The view out the back windows onto the lake is a bit obstructed, but what a great space to hang out. I wish there was a fire burning in that hearth right then. The wind really continues to whip, especially as I near the shoreline. Finally, in all of its wet, gigantic splendor, Lake Superior. You can see as I approach the shore, the wind is pushing those waves with some drama. Although you can't tell from a video, the feeling of being there and walking up to the lake, it really makes you feel tiny, but at the same time somehow connected. It's a weird feeling. I was going to edit a bunch of this out. My camera work here is, well, non-existent. But somehow I managed to capture how raw and nature-like this nature felt. That's an odd sentence, but I'm sticking to it. It felt bracing and rejuvenating. At the same time, I wanted to be back in the RV with the heater running. But the entertainment of watching the force of the waves crash and play among the rocks, it kept me on the shore. Just a short hike to the lake and experiencing Superior so close to the campground makes this park a serious winner. There's more on offer here though, and I'm looking forward to seeing these falls the park is named for. I think it's time to head back to the van and warm up a bit, get some coffee, and then let's head out on the trails to the falls. Back at the lake to begin the trek to the falls. Here I'm walking just on the shoreline, and as I make my way through this crevice, you can see where the river that the falls empty into joins into Superior. I'm just at the beginning of the trail to the falls, and notice this shack. Let's have a look. I guess it's a pump house. So this is where they must fill up Superior with more water when the lake gets low. I may have that backwards, but what a cool overlook onto the lake. Let's head down the trail and finally see those falls.
Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
Good.
Hiking out in the park was nice and relaxing. It had just the right number of other people about. Not too common to intrude on your enjoyment of the natural setting, but not so uncommon as to feel overly isolated. The paths were very nicely maintained as well, especially for how early in the season I was visiting. Look closely at this shot, you can see some of the falls way out in the distance there. Getting closer. Here, I'm walking onto one of the bridges that the park has across the river, flowing down from the falls. What a nice view looking out from it. You can see that the spring rains have really increased the flow of the waters, kicking up debris and turning the color more brown with sediment. Made it to the falls. I have to apologize yet again, since in all the video I took of the hike, I seem to be missing a dramatic shot of the various layers of the falls. Instead, I managed to capture a few of the views from various landings that the park has built to admire the scene. I guess you'll just have to visit the falls yourself to truly appreciate them and take better videos than I did. Here's the bench and final view of the falls I had. I sat down on that bench and took it all in. What a great trip I had to Gooseberry. Although the falls are the namesake of the park, I have to say that it was and is Superior that has me spellbound. I'd like to leave you with some attempts at nice footage from the shore of that lake. Thanks for joining me on the journey.
We're here at Gooseberry Falls. We have a wild antelope.
That's so weird. You're welcome for the bucket tipping. We were all over it.